Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, the workbench that everybody's been talking about. This is the WORKPRO 4-in-1. So I'm going to show you what you get for your hard-earned money. Spent 179 bucks on this thing. I'm going to show you what you get right out of the box. So let's get right to it. I cut some of the tape already on this thing. And there it is. So there is some assembly required. I'll throw a link down below where you can grab one of these. Again, I bought this from a previous review. So let me get some of this stuff out of the box here to show you kind of what you get here. This thing is supposed to be awesome. I mean, I've been needing a work table to do projects on for forever. And the fact that this thing is a 4-in-1, bonus. So, only thing I'm hoping with this is that it's as sturdy as all the reviews and all the videos that I've seen on it claim to be. So, let me get this thing a little bit more out of the box so you can understand what's going on. Here's some of the assembly that's required. You get a little bag of hardware, nuts and bolts, washers and whatnot. You just got to put wheels on it and stuff. Instructions are pretty straightforward. Just to give you guys a heads up, you're gonna need a let's see, that's a 13 mil socket, a 14 mil socket, and a 10 millimeter socket. So get those ready, get a ratchet of your choice ready to go, throw these things on. So you got bolt, lock washer, flat washer, and wheel. These go on here just like that, and put all the casters all installed right there. The only thing you're gonna need to do when you try to get your socket in here, you'll get it on 2 of them, but the other side, when you try to get your socket to sit on here, it's just the wall of the socket's just a little too fat. Just grab an adjustable wrench or a 14 mil, torque the last 2 down. Next step is to throw these little wheels on here. So there's a little axle, slide on like that. And they take a washer and a lock nut. There's a little casters installed there. Nice. Lock nut ready to go. To give you this little handle here to carry it on, it goes right here like that, and you're going to use these little bolts and the remaining lock nuts that come with it. There's the angle of attack on that deal. Little extension on the 10 mil, tighten it up with a larger head. Phillips gets the job done, and really nice move using lock nuts on these things. That's a nice little touch that'll prevent that handle from getting loose over time. Putting together a little miter stand kit, you just put your little center brace on like this, and for demonstration purposes, let me back this out. And also, I think it goes without saying, but maybe some of you need to hear this, is when you're doing screwdriver work, Phillips head, and the head of the Phillips head is real big like that, make sure you get the right Phillips head screwdriver. Don't use one of those small ones in there just because it barely fits. You'll strip it out and you'll never get the right torque on there. I mean, it's kind of common sense, but a lot of times when we're doing this stuff, we get lazy, and those little lazy moments can kind of cost you in the long run. So it pays to get the right tools out. I also, while I'm sitting here putting this together, invest in one of these little magnet trays. I can't tell you how many times I've just thrown the bag of crap, the bag of hardware on the ground and started working, and then you'll find out that you're missing washers and nuts and stuff because stuff just rolls away. So little download, things was like $1 at Harbor Freight. I'll try to find one on Amazon, link it below, but pick up a couple of these. I just clack them right to my toolbox when I'm not using them, so it's a little tip. But here's the miter side. You just put your supports on each side like this, and they get screwed down with these little Phillips heads. Okay, so there's the completed little miter stand, and I actually have another idea for this thing. So here's the underside of this little workbench, and the way these legs fold up, you just pinch this and they roll back like that, and they're locked into place. And check this out, one thing I noticed right off the bat, there's no play in those legs at all. Nothing. Real nice and smooth, and just no play at all. So let me get this thing on its feet. There we are on its feet, and honestly, the first thing I could say about this thing, solid. There is no weeble wobble anywhere in this thing, and I would 100% feel confident jumping up on that thing and getting some work done. Probably wouldn't go on it telescoped all the way up, but I mean, it's nice. I think it's definitely worth the money, just for the stability side of it. Now here's that little normal top that it comes with, but if you just pop this little ring, you'll see that there's another side of this thing, which I liked, a smooth surface. So you just do that, and now you got a protractor on this side with the nice white on black lettering, and nice little ruler here, kind of mark out a project. Really nice. The little tray, these things are so useful. Like, for example, taking screwdrivers, throwing them in there, wrenches, it keeps everything nice and organized. You know how to use a tray. Just a nice little addition to put on here. So let's get this thing telescoped up, and then I'll show you kind of what it does when it's a little bit higher here. So the way the telescopic feature works couldn't be easier. You just loosen these guys up like this, really just tension, and you just lift up and pinch these two together and pull down on that little rung there. So there they slide down. I don't have a cameraman. They are a little bit tight, but when you pinch these, you pull down on this part and it will go ahead and lock, see, like that, like lock into place. So do it again, just like that. So same way back up. Now you got a normal height workbench here. Still solid as hell. I mean, I really wouldn't have any problem putting 200 pounds, 250 pounds on this thing. I wouldn't think twice about it. So let's show you dolly mode. Going to wide angle here. You can see I have this little leg folded down here, and here's where you could kind of scoop some stuff up with, carry it around the house. Now I will note one thing: if you pull back too far, you will get some scrapage. So that's about the extent, and that's just due to the small wheels. You could probably put some bigger wheels on there, but that's the dolly mode. This thing's also got creeper mode, so you just pull up on that, fold that down. Actually, you can't do it with the legs extended. Let me collapse the legs here. It's just that easy. Tighten them back up. I'm telling you guys, this thing is awesome. The Tool Review Zone is the guy who I was watching the video on. I'll link him below. He does a much more thorough review than me. I really wasn't even gonna do a video on this thing, but let me get this up. And let's drop that down like that. But yeah, he does a great review on it. I like that guy. He's funny. So take these back down like that. Flip it over. Now got a nice dolly. So you could imagine if you got a pretty big heavy box and you need to get it from point A to point B, or maybe a transmission or anything, you could definitely roll it around and get it where you got to go. Now these pavers are pretty smooth. Just remember that these wheels are just plastic, so I wouldn't go any higher than, you know, the 200 pounds, 200, 300 pounds that it says. But definitely cool. Definitely a useful little thing. Now I guess this would be a good time for me to also point out the fact that if you plug in an extension cord here on the side, then you got 3 outlets to your tools and whatnot that you're working on. So it also has a reset switch here for your breaker, which is a nice little addition. The fourth and final awesome part about this little workbench here is the addition of the miter stand. So the miter saw mount. The way this works is this thing just clips on here with these little clips like that. So you just clip it on and clip it off. You do 4 of them all the way around. They are spring loaded, which do assist you if you aren't doing it one-handed like I am. So there's the 2 there. Take you around here. There's the 2 right there. So now, no matter what size miter saw you have, just traditional miter saw mounts, bingo, you got a miter stand, which is awesome. Now, my second thought on this, since the outfeed, or since the legs are adjustable up and down, I do have an idea. If you guys just have an old school little job site table saw, you could use this thing as an outfeed table. So throw this table 9 feet back from your saw, 8 feet back from your saw, wherever you want it. start feeding that material through, this could grab it on the other side, which is really nice. Just the fact that you can, you know, adjust it up and down like that, really dial it in. You got 3 areas where you can dial it in with the positive lock, with the little, you can see these little holes here, or you could just kind of tighten it up and get it where you need it to be. Be plenty of support for an outfeed table, and the fact that these are smooth and there's not a lot of friction that they'll create between the two. You know, it's not a roller, it's not a traditional rolling outfeed table, but it could still be useful. So, I mean, not much more I can say about this thing, guys. Like I said, I'll link over to Tool Review Zone. You can watch his video on this too, but neither of us were paid for this. I just bought this because I needed a sweet little outside workbench, and I was tired of working on the floor. And, you know, I was using one of those little plastic tables that get all flimsy and wobbly. This thing's great. So if this helped you make a decision, or you just had fun watching it or whatever, just make sure you thumbs up and subscribe. I do videos all the time on this channel, some product reviews, some how-tos, some just goofy stuff. So promise, if you subscribe, you'll learn something throughout the year. That's for sure. And we all learn together. So if this helped you out, thumbs up, get you in the next video. Later.